Guys, and welcome to Faith Works Designs. I am Faith, and today we're going to be starting a very fun project that I cannot wait to get done because it is going to be so awesome. I am starting a Moiraine Sedia costume. Now, I started watching Wheel of Time on Amazon whenever it came out a few months ago, and I just completely fell in love. Now, her costume is amazing, but in the series, they have her in pants, which is fine. She's got to ride horses and run around, that's fine. In the books, she wears a dress. So what I'm going to be doing in this video is I'm going to be combining both the show, some of the show aspects, and some of the book aspects. Yeah. In The Dragon Reborn, Egwene, Elaine, and Nynaeve are taking their skirts and their dresses and they're making split skirts. So in today's tutorial, we're kind of making split skirts, and I'm really excited about it because we're using a circle skirt pattern so that you guys can do this at home. There's no pattern you have to run out of the store to get. We're going to make our own pattern. So we're going to be using our circle skirt method, and then I'm going to show you how to put in, we're going to be putting in a crotch seam so that they're secret pants. I finished mine the other day and I wore them out today to do all of my running and stuff, and I got so many compliments, and I can't wait to find, that was just my mock-up. So I can't wait to finish the actual pair of pants. Now to start, I would highly suggest you guys get a mock-up fabric to start this project with because of all the variables. So first, you're going to need to take your hip measurements. If you're using cotton, I would highly suggest taking your hip measurements because cotton does not stretch and you're going to be pulling it up like you would pants. So you're going to need to take your hip measurements. In the video I tell you to take your waist. If you're doing a stretch or a knit, go ahead and do your waist. But if you're doing a cotton, make sure that you do your hips because it has to go over your hips. The next thing was to make sure that you use a big enough fabric. Now these pants are wide because it is a circle skirt. I can't talk today. It's a circle skirt, so you're going to need a lot of fabric, and mine is 4 layers so that it would be really poofy and look more like a dress. I've had so many people today, are those pants? It's a dress, and it's secret pants. So what I did was I took 108 wide fabric. I got 2.5 yards, I believe. That was more than enough, but I wanted to make sure that I had plenty of fabric to be able to do this with. So I would highly suggest doing something like that because everybody's length and their height is going to be different, and you have to measure from your waist down to where your length is going to be, to your ankles, past your ankles. If you want to make shorts, whatever it's going to be, you're going to need that length all the way around the circle skirt pattern. So I would start with 108 fabric, use that as your pattern, and then put that on top of your regular, like a jersey or a knit normally is like 60 inches wide, and that's as wide as it gets. So keep that in mind. That's why I got the 108 fabric, so I can make it as big as I want, and then I can put it on the fabric itself, cut it out, and then I had to keep maneuvering it to get several patterns. But it was totally worth it because the end result was amazing. So let's get started. Alright, so first things first, measurements. The very first thing that you want to do, because I got a 2-way stretch, it's going to be stretchy, so I'm not going to have to worry about getting the exact measurement of my waist, but for the fabric that I'm going to be doing the mock-up on, I'm going to have to do that. So the very first thing that you're going to do is you're going to take a measurement of your waist, and then you're going to divide that by 6.28. Now, if you've watched my circle skirt video, you'll know that that's the measurements that I use to figure everything out. So the next thing that you're going to do, that's going to be your first measurement. Mine is 7. So I'm going to keep that in mind. Then I'm going to get something, anything, that you can measure from where you want your dress to end, like at your ankles or over your ankles, to your knee, wherever it is, to help you measure. I don't have my measuring tape right now, so I'm having to, yeah. So I've got something here that it's a project I'm working on for another video. So I've got it right where I want it to be, a little bit over my ankles, and then right where my waist is. I'm going to mark that with my finger. and then I'm going to measure all of this. That's going to be your next one. Now mine is, my first measurement is going to be 7. My next measurement is going to be 31. And we'll see using the 108 width fabric if I can get those measurements or not. Okay, so I got 108 width, okay? I wanted to make sure that I had plenty of fabric so that I could get it all in one piece. Now, what I did was I folded it in half width-wise, and then I folded it in half lengthwise. I got 2.5 yards of the 108 fabric. I just wanted to make sure that I had plenty. With it all folded up, you should have a corner that has a crease like this. You've got your middle fold, that's going to be your length, and then your width. In the corner, you're going to measure your waist. So from this corner, I marked 7. And then I just took my ruler and went all the way over. You can see my little individual marks. Make sure that you stay right here with your ruler and measure up 7. The next thing that I did was measure from where I want my waist to be to the end of where I want my length to be. So I just held up a ruler in front of me, and then I measured how long I wanted it to be. That was good English. How long I wanted it to be. So from my waist to the bottom is 31 inches. That gave me enough to turn the length under so that I can hem it. And then what I did was I took my ruler and then I did the same exact thing. It's in a nice shape. You can see it better when I cut it out. But it's just, there's so much fabric you can't tell. So let me get that cut out and then I'll show you. Okay, I'm going to try and make this as least complicated as possible because I want you to be able to do this at home and not have to go out and buy a pattern. Here's what we're going to do. You've got your 4 layers. One side has just your 2 folds, but they're inside of each other. And then on the other side, you have 2 folds that are separate. On the side that you have your folds together, grab a pair of pants. Grab a pair of shorts, grab a pair of pants, whatever floats your boat. But this is the part where none of the people online told you how far in to go and then how far down to go. What's the math? Nobody gave it to me. So I looked and looked and looked online and I could not find anything. So grab a pair of pants. Take your crotch. Make sure it's poking out because you need to know how far you need some butt room. And I'm going to leave mine out just a little bit because I do not want this up my crack. And these pants are kind of like stretchy. So I'm going to fold it out a little bit. I'm going to leave this here. And what you're going to do is you're going to draw a line all the way up like that. Now, that's going to muck with your waist measurement. So I'm going to deal with that in a minute. I knew I was going to forget something. Okay, so when you're going to cut out your top circumference, you need to come down whatever this measurement is right here. Looks to be about 3 inches. So when I cut, I should have cut down 3 inches and then started my circumference. But because this is cotton fabric, this is going to work fine. And this is going to be my template anyway, so it doesn't have to be perfect. I knew I was going to forget something because I was all excited. Okay. It's not going to mess me up. We're going to keep rolling with this. I'm pretty sure it's not going to mess me up. So now we're just going to cut this out and then we'll move on to the next step. Alright, so we're all marked out. I have got the crotch seam here, so you just move that away. Then you're going to cut open these seams, and I know it's hard to see because it's navy blue, but you're going to cut all of those seams open that we have on the side. Then you're going to come over here and you're going to cut open these seams on this side. There should have been folds. Now they're just going to be open seams. Next thing that I need to do is we're going to start working on putting the crotch together, and it's going to be interesting because this is a full-on circle skirt. So yeah, I got to mentally think about it for a minute. Alright, with doing the circle skirt, we have 4 pieces of fabric, okay? We're going to take 2 pieces, right sides together, and you are going to sew the crotch side. So the side that kind of like slopes in and then down, you're going to sew just that part, the two right sides together. You're going to do that on both pieces. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to get right sides out, open this up, and then open the other skirt up, and we're going to get crotch to crotch. There's so much fabric to work with. Okay, so your seams are going to match up, and that is going to be your crotch seam, because this fabric is going to go on that side, this fabric is going to go on that side, and it's going to be your legs. So go ahead and start pinning your seams together, and then you're going to sew. Normally I don't break out the serger, but I figure this is a festive day. We're going to give it a go, make sure she's running smoothly before I get my other fabric out. That way it's working good, because I want my Moiraine costume. I am putting so much work into this. I want it to look baller. So we're going to do the seams on the inside and make sure they look nice completely. When we do that seam, we will have pants. And I will show you when I get it all put together. It's going to be so freaking good. I just picked it up and I looked at how it's going to kind of lay and stuff. I'm so happy. Oh! Okay, here we go. So the first thing that I did was I sewed the bottom, the point where it kind of went crotchy. Then I put the top part together like that. Now, the next part is finding the waist and then sewing down each side. And they're secret pants. Oh my gosh, you cannot see anything from there, but they look amazing. Alright, so before we do these side seams, we need pocketses. So I grab a cell phone and make sure there's plenty of room to stick it in there. If you look online and you kind of look at the shape of pockets, you could probably come up with something on your own. I wish I could make a pattern of this. But anyway, I made it pretty wide, and then you're going to need two pieces for each pocket. And then I just kind of traced around my phone. You are going to need a little bit of this like lip, because you're going to have your seam allowance on the side. So I just wanted to, this is the top part that I cut out of my skirt. Waist not, want not, right? So I gotta make another set of this, and then I'll show you guys how we attach the pocketses. Hopefully you can kind of see the shape that I'm making there. Alright, so we're on to adding on the pocketses. Now I am on the side of my skirt, and I'm not sure about placement just yet, but I went ahead and measured from the top, because I might have to take some of this down and I might have to widen my opening for my waist. I'm not sure yet. So I measured 5 inches down, and then I placed my pocket. Hopefully you can see it. I know these colors weren't the best choice. But anyway, you're going to put the pocket on the right side of the skirt, because your seam is going to be on the inside. So when you flip this out, all of your pocket will be facing the right way. I know. So put right side of pocket to the right side of your skirt, and do the exact same thing on the opposite side. Do not sew your skirt down like this. All we're doing is we're starting from one end of the pocketses to the other end of the pocketses, making sure that we backstitch. When we're done sewing that, we're going to flip them out like this, and then sew from the top to here, around the pocketses, and then back down. We got to do this first though. Alright, so we got our pockets sewn in. Next thing we're going to do is just right sides together. We're going to sew around the pocket and the side of our skirt. So I'm assuming you want your seams to face out so that when you get to that corner, it works out well. Okay, so what you're going to do is start from the top, come over a little past where you sewed the top of your pocket. I would say about 1/4 inch, 3/8, whatever your seam allowance is. Come down, around, back up to your seam, and then back down your side. I'll show you it when I get done. You guys, I am like legitimately more excited than I should be. I swear I feel like a little kid. Okay. My little secret skirt is working out. Alright, so I wanted to bring you really close so you could see. So we started at the beginning, that's your waist. Come over here, and I went a little past where I had sewn the pocket in. Come down and around. And then I went back up to my seam. And then I went all the way down. Now, doing it this way allows for your pocket on the outside. There's no seams, and I know y'all literally can't see anything because of this dark fabric, but the pocket, let's see, where's the seam? Right here. There's your seam, and on the outside, once I iron it, that's all you're going to see is that little bitty, no raw edges on the outside. Now I have to go do that to the other side and then serge the outside, and then we'll get ready for the waistband and the hem. I am not looking forward to that hem because it's a round hem. Okay, so I had to go back, and I completely forgot that when you're working with cotton, you want to make sure that you measure your hips first. When you're working with cotton, it's going to have to get over your hips because they're pants. It's not like a dress you can go over your head. So make sure that when you're doing the 6.28, you're dividing it by your hip measurement, not your waist measurement. Now your belt to hold it up is going to need to be that measurement, so that, you know, if you're using stretchy material, it's going to need to be that measurement so that it hugs to your waist. I am so happy. I'm so happy. I got to back up to show you guys, but they fit and they feel amazing, and I am like stupid excited. It's ridiculous how excited I am right now. So let me move the camera. Just pockets. Secret pants. Alright guys, so we've got the skirt all done. I went ahead and serged the my hips, waist section. Went ahead and did that. Then I cut out a 10-inch by my waist piece of fabric, and I folded it in half, and then I went ahead and serged it so that the fold in half would stay together. And then I went ahead and I found 4 corners, and I put pins in them because I have 4 corners in the top part of my skirt. I'm going to meet those 4 corners of my belt loop first, and then I'm going to kind of spread everything out and then make everything fit. So we're just going to start with one corner and work our way around. Making sure you're just going to have to pin everything. And your waistband should be a little smaller than your skirt so that it'll, if you've got elastic waistband, it should be a little smaller so that it'll cinch in and stay up. If you want to do a cotton waistband, you would need to measure out the exact size that you're going to need, and then you would have to put in a button or some way to get it on and up. Ugh. But for me, I figured easy peasy lemon squeezy, we would just use an elastic waistband just to keep it simple. Now I'm going to go ahead and pin this up, and then I will sew it, and then we will show you guys the finished product. Alright guys, so what did you think? I love these pants so stinking much, and I'm gonna have to buy more fabric because I have a pattern now, and I think getting like a jersey or a knit or something like that that kind of falls on you will look more like a dress. And it's just, they're so comfortable. I wore mine out today and it was just really, really comfortable to be in. I like wearing skirts anyway and dresses. So being able to have like the pants element, it's summer and it's hot, that's all we're going to say. So it's like having shorts underneath your dress so that you can be able to, you know, take care of all that. Anyway, if you like this video, you can give it a thumbs up, or if you want to stick around and see the rest of Moiraine's costume, I cannot wait. Cannot wait. So if you want to see the rest of it, make sure that you hit the subscribe button, or if you have any comments or questions, leave those down in the comment section down below. I check those every day, and I cannot wait to see this costume cosplay all done up because it's going to be amazing. Moiraine's an amazing character in this book. If you haven't read the series by Robert Jordan, you should really give it a go. I've been listening to it through Audible on my computer while I'm working, and it's a really great series. It's something different, and I'm really actually enjoying the book series more than I am the television series. So I want to add elements from both because I think they're cool. That vest is amazing, and I cannot wait to have it. Anyway, thanks for joining us here on Faith Works Designs. Bye, guys.